of the Always Believe House. Ho, 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 ho. Today, we're going to have a great time because we're going to factor quadratics. Oh, 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 oh. And it is going to be F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Okay? Before we get started on this is not easy. If you cannot multiply and divide, it's even harder. I'm going to show you how to do this with the calculator to get the factors, okay? We got to get the factors on this. So a magical whiteboard appears, and we are going to start rocking and rolling. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, so what we're trying to do before we start on this, let's go back and review, and let's do x minus 3 times x plus 5. Okay, last week we taught how to multiply that, right? Remember, when we multiply, we're going to do the full method. We draw our arches, we put our 3 blanks, and then we multiply the first terms, the outside, the inside, and the last term, right? We're going to multiply 4 times, then we add or subtract. So x times x is x squared, that's my first term. A negative 3 times a positive 5 is a negative 15, that's my last term. Then we do the arches. We're going to get a negative 3x and a plus 5x. Negative 3x plus 5x is a plus 2x. What we're going to do today is go from here to here. Okay, so we are going to undo the multiplying and go back. Just like we did the GCF. When you factor out the GCF, you undo the distributive property. When you factor these quadratics, you're undoing the full method, okay? This is huge for those who are going into engineering, okay? This is like the foundation of your higher level math right here, okay? This is monstrous, okay? This is huge. Okay, what you are learning today is the foundation of your higher level math. I'll say, when am I ever going to do this? If you're going to engineering, you're going to be using this, okay? Your cell phones would not operate without this, okay? We're going to study what this is later on this year, but this is like really, really important. Now then, to go backwards, what we would do is we would take this 15 and write down the factors. The factors are the numbers that multiply to give you this. Okay, so our factors, you always start with 1. 2 does not go into 15. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 doesn't work, and then we're back to 5. So 1 and 15 and 3 and 5 are it. Don't write down 5 times 3 because we already got 3 and 5. Now then, we want those numbers to subtract and give us 2, which is the 3 and the 5. And notice that these numbers go back up here, don't they? So when we go backwards, this right here ends up being the factors of our quadratic, okay? These are called quadratic equations. Later on when we graph them, they're going to graph a curve. The curve will cross the x-axis twice, which are the zeros. These factors help you get the zeros. This is extremely important when you go up into higher level math. So let's start rocking and rolling. First step is to get the factors of this C term, okay? So we're going to write down 12 and get the factors. These numbers are pretty small. I'm going to do a couple with the calculator, okay? Let's do this by hand first. So 12 is 1 times 12. You start at 1, then go 2, 3, 4, and just keep going down. 2 works, 2 times 6, 3 works, 3 times 4, and after 3 is 4, I get back to that bottom right number. When I get to the bottom right number, I stop, okay? Now then, look at the last term. I want to add and get 7. The last term tells you if you're going to add or subtract. So look at all of the factors. Which factors add up and give you 7? It's 3 and 4, right? Now then, go to the right and put 3 and 4. Then put signs in front of the 3 and 4. What signs do I put in front of the 3 and 4 to get a plus 7? I need to plus 3 and plus 4, don't I? This sign will always go to the biggest factor. Now then, real quickly, the opposite of multiply is divide. We're going to divide both of these by x, okay? This right here will turn into your factors. Okay, so my factors are going to be x plus 4 and x plus 3, and you could write that in any order. Okay? Now then, when we multiply, if we did the full method, Okay, we would get x times x is x squared. 4 times 3 is our 12. The inside arch would be 4x. The outside arch would be 3x. We would add them up and get the plus 7. This right here are called the factors of this quadratic. Okay, just like 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4, the factors of 12, x squared plus 7x plus 12, the factors of that are x plus 4, x plus 3. Oh, what a blast. If I could invent a machine that would produce taste from doing a math problem, the harder the math problem, the better the taste. These problems would taste like the best you could get in Algebra 1. This would be like the fajita bean at Papacitos. Or a real good grilled steak and the outside's kind of black and crisp and you eat it. These are the very best tasting math problems you can do. Better than Oreo cookies and Reese's peanut butter cups. So let's keep going to number 2. Let's taste these math problems. So if we could only taste the math problems, right? Okay, first step is to write down this 20. Then we're going to write down the factors of 20. 1 and 20, 2 and 10 work. 3 doesn't go into 20, but 4 times 5 work. After 4, we get to 5. I'm going to show you how to get these factors on the calculator in a minute. Now then, look at the last sign. It's add, and we want to add and get 9, don't we? So which set of factors add up and give us 9? It's the 4 and the 5. So put those over to the right. Then put signs in front of the 4 and 5 to give you the plus 9. I need to add them both up. Remember, that middle sign will always go to the biggest number. Okay, and so what do I do to plus 5 to get plus 4? I need a plus 4, draw 2 fraction bars, put x on the bottom. So my factors are going to end up being x plus 5 and x plus 4. You can put those in any order, okay? You can put them in any order. Do you taste the steak? Good stuff. Or this is like, fresh made etouffee. It is tasting good. Let's go to number 3. Okay, on number 3, we're going to write down the factors of 18. So 1 times 18, 2 works, 2 times 9, 3 works, 3 times 6, 4 doesn't go into 18, 5 doesn't go into 18, 6 does. So I have my factors of 18 now. If you can't multiply and divide, this is hard, and I will show you how to do this on the calculator on the next one. Now then, we want to add and get 9, don't we? So which factors add up and give us 9? It's the 6 and the 3. Write those over to the left. Remember, the middle sign goes to the biggest factor. And then what do you do to plus 6 to get 9? You're going to add 3, aren't you? Put x's on the bottom. That's our first, or h's on the bottom actually. Usually they use x because this is going to turn into the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so our factors will be h plus 3 and h plus 6. You can put this in any order, okay? Make sure you can do that. And once again, these are the factors, right? These numbers over here on the right are not the factors. The factors are h plus 3 and h plus 6. Let's go to number 4. Write down 24. Now then, I'm going to show you how to get the factors on the calculator. And this is tedious. If you're doing this, it takes time. If you can't multiply and divide, you've got to do this. Okay, so I'm going to go to the calculator. Let me make this calculator a little bit bigger. Excuse me, okay, and I'm going to go to graph. I'm going to click B for graph. Now then, I want the factors of 24. Okay, notice my F1X is showing up because I just went to graph. If you can't get that, hit menu, graph, function, menu 3-1, and we're going to graph. We want the factors of 24, so this is how you get it. 24 divided by x. What if I wanted the factors of 40? 40 divided by x. The factors of 80, 80 divided by x. So whatever number you want the factors of, divide it by x. The opposite of divide is multiply. When we get our table, all of the x's and y's will multiply and give us the x. So hit enter. Now then, this graph looks funky. Okay, don't worry about this. We're going to talk about this later on in the year. This is called indirect variation. Okay, now then, hit Control T. And guess what that table is? Your X's and Y's all multiply and give you 24. Notice I got them all right here, don't I? 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6, don't I? Piece of cake. Notice that the 5 is 4.8 because 5 will not go into 24, will it? And then if we were to go to 6, 6 would be 4. We don't have to write 6 times 4 because we already got the 4 and the 6. So let's go back. And our factors are 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. We want to add and get 10, don't we? So the 6 and the 4 work, don't they? So you're going to go to the right, put 4 and 6. The middle sign is plus. It goes with the bigger number. What do you do to plus 6 to get to 10? You're going to add 4. Put fraction bars, put x's on the bottom. This is your parentheses. So x plus 4 and x plus 6 work. The reason why you're doing this, to get these numbers you're multiplying, the opposite of multiply is divide. That's why and this really should be an A, I'm sorry. I'm just used to putting X down there. Okay? Because you're usually going to use X because this is going to be a graph on the coordinate plane and you got X and Y. Okay? Let's go to this one. This is a piece of cake here because there's only one factor of 5. And it does add up and gives us 6, doesn't it? So we're going to put 1 and 5, and we need a plus and a plus. Put the x's on the bottom. The factors are going to be x plus 1 and x plus 5. And you can put those in any order, okay? I could have the x plus 5 first. Okay, any order. Piece of cake. Oh. Let's keep going to number 6. And Jiminy Crickets, this is K and K. I'm used to x's. I don't know why they just don't use X, because that's what we're going to do later on. Number 6, piece of cake here, 1. The only thing you can multiply is 1 and 1. Does that give us 2? Yes, it does. If this were a minus, we would subtract, wouldn't we? Okay, so we're going to put 1 and 1, and we're going to put y on the bottom, and plus. So our parentheses will be y plus 1 and y plus 1. You can also see this as y plus 1 to the second power. Ho. F-U-N, fun. The key is to getting your factors. Now then on the next one it gets a little bit more tricky because we're not going to add, we're going to subtract. So let's go to number 7. Wish they would have gave us more subtraction problems because these are a little bit more trickier. Okay, so we're going to do the 18. Now then I'm going to show you one more time on the calculator. You got to do stuff to get this new graph. So let's go to the calculator. First thing you want to do, if you want to get the factors, you got to get rid of the table. So Control T makes the table appear and disappear. So hit Control T. The table's gone. Now then, to delete a graph, the shortcut, think of a real bad thought. Oh, like my wife ate all my Oreo cookies and it made me angry. So I'm just going to take my Oreo cookies to school so she can't get them. So think of a bad thought and then hit delete 3 times and the bad thought goes away. So delete, and notice that it deletes the graph. Okay, think of a bad thought first and you can delete the bad thought. I'm not bad about the Oreos anymore. I really don't need them, okay? But anyway, hit enter and now your graph's gone. Okay, now then the shortcut to getting the graph up, hit the tab button. If you hit the tab button, it's going to regenerate what you just graphed. Since we should only be graphing functions, it'll go up with a function. Now then, I need the factors of 18, so 18 divided by x. And I'm going to hit enter. Notice this is going to graph a curve, that's fine. And then hit Control T. And notice I get my factors. Notice what happens at 4 and 5. They're decimals because 4 and 5 do not go into 18 evenly. The factors are going to be 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6, aren't they? I don't need to put 6 and 3 down because I already got 3 and 6. So I'm going to go back. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. Now then, look at the last sign. It's subtract. We want to subtract and get 3, don't we? So the 3 and the 6 work, don't they? So write down 3 and 6, And remember, this sign will go to the biggest number. What can you do to plus 6 to get to plus 3? If I put a plus 3, I'm going to get 9, aren't I? So I need a minus 3, don't I? Now that I got this letter right here goes on the bottom. So my parentheses will be, and I'll put the biggest one first, n plus 6, n minus 3. You can put these in any order, okay? Something else, well, I'm just going to leave it like that, okay? If you put your biggest factor first, that plus sign will drop, okay? Well, let's go to number 8. Okay, factors of 8. So this is pretty simple. 1 times 8, 2 times 4. We want to subtract and get 2. So to subtract and get 2, we need this. So I'm going to put 2 and 4 down. The middle sign goes to the biggest term. And then plus 4, what, to get to plus 2? I need to subtract 2, don't I? Put the x on the bottom, and boom, I got my parentheses. This time I'm going to put the smaller one first. You can put them in any order, right? And remember, you're writing down the factors. Just real quickly, x times x is x squared. Negative 2 times positive 4 is negative 8. The inside arch would be negative 2. The outside arch would be plus 4. Plus 4 minus 2 is a plus 2. This works if you work it backwards, okay? So this is monstrously important when you go into your higher level math, what you are doing now. Really quickly, the factors of 10 are a piece of cake. So we're going to write down 10, 1 times 10 and 2 times 5. Okay, we want to subtract and get 3. So I'm going to circle the 2 and the 5. So put 2 and 5. The middle sign goes to the biggest term. Then what do you do to plus 5 to get to 3? You're going to subtract 2, put your letter underneath, and your first term underneath, and then this is your parentheses. We're going to get g minus 2 and g plus 5. Ho, 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 ho. Let's go to number 10. Now then, 54 is pretty big. Okay, so write down 54. We're going to get this with the calculator. And y'all watch. I want to subtract and get 3. So I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm only going to subtract. I'm only going to write down the factor that I need. So let's go to the calculator, and we want to subtract and get 3. Okay, so get rid of the table. Control T. Think of a bad memory. I got mine. Then hit delete 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Boom! The bad memory's gone. The graph's deleted. Now that I'm going to hit tab to graph another function. And we want the factors of 54. 54 divided by x. Hit enter. And bam! We need to hit Control T to get our table. And we want these two numbers to subtract and give us 6. Subtract and give us 6. So far, none of these work, do they? So I need to keep going down the table. And right there, it works, doesn't it? The 6 and the 9 is going to work. So 6 times 9 is 54. If I subtract them, I get 3. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. I'm going to write down 6 times 9. Those are my factors that work. Now then, I'm going to put 6 and 9 over. The middle sign goes to the biggest term. And what do you do to plus 9 to get plus 3? We need to subtract 6. And then we're going to put an S on the bottom. Okay, so I'll have S, and I'll put the biggest one first, S plus 9, and S minus 6. You can put the big one first or the small one first. It doesn't matter. Oh, now then, let's go down to here. These are a little bit more difficult because you got to factor out the GCF first. So let's go down to here. 4, 12, and 8 all divide by 2. The smallest number is 4. My factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. 4 doesn't go into, 4 does work. 4 goes into 4, 12, and 8. I did 2 on purpose to see if you're paying attention. So our GCF will be 4. Our greatest common factor will be 4. So put 4 on the bottom. The 4 goes out, and then you divide n squared plus 3n plus 2. Now then, we're going to write down the factors of 2. 1 times 2, and they add up to 3, don't we? So we put 1 and 2 over here on the end. We need them both to be plus. Put n's on the bottom, and we'll have 4 parentheses, n plus 1 and n plus 2. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Oh, oh, oh. These are tasting even better. Oh, I know this is a long lesson. Like I said, this is one of the hardest things you will do in this class all year. This next test will be tough, okay? Stay with us and keep doing the problems. On the next one, our smallest number is 2. The factors are 1 and 2. 2 is my GCF in it. Okay? So I'm going to divide everything by 2. So I'm going to pull a 2 out and I'm going to divide. So x squared minus 4x minus 12. Now that I'm going to write down the factors of 12 and I want to subtract and get 4. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Subtract and get 4, it's these two in it. So I'm going to write down 2 and 6. And then this middle term goes to the biggest. So the middle term's minus in it. Negative 6 plus 2 is the negative 4. My first letter is x. Now then, this 2 drops. If you don't drop the 2, it's wrong. And then we got x plus 2 and x minus 6, don't we? Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Let's keep going. A few more problems we're going to do together. 3, 15, and 12. 3 goes into all these numbers, doesn't it? Try to divide by this number. It should go into all the others. So I'm going to divide by 3. And then I'll get y squared minus 5y plus 4. Now then, write down to 4. The factors of 4 that add up to 5, I'm just going to go to them, are 1 and 5. And I want to add and get 5, don't I? So I'm going to put 1 and 4 over here. This middle sign goes to my 1 right here. Negative 4 plus 1 is not negative 5, is it? Negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. My first letter is y. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to have 3 parentheses, y minus 1 and y minus 4. Notice if the last side is plus, the signs in the parentheses will be the same because we're adding. They'll both either be pluses or they'll both be minuses. And remember, that middle term goes to the biggest factor, always. Let's go to number 4. Whoa! Okay, 3 goes into everything. Okay, so we're going to factor out the 3. We're going to get 3 parentheses, and an A also factors out. Sorry about that. They all have A, don't they? So we can factor out a 3A. And we'll get 1A squared plus 30 divided by 3 is 10. A squared divided by A is A plus 63 divided by 3 is 21, and the A's cancel out. Now that I need the factors of 21 that add and give me 10, and I'm just going to go straight to it. That's going to be 3 and 7, aren't they? 1 and 21, 3 and 7. The 3 and 7 works. So I'm going to put 3 and 7 over here. And this middle sign is going to go to the plus in it. So what do you do to plus 7 to get to 10? You add 3. You're going to divide everything by A. And so we're going to get 3A parentheses A plus 3 and A plus 7. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Y'all also listen. Y'all may be wondering why we're putting the A's on the bottom. This is going to make a lot of sense tomorrow, okay? Those fractions will give you the parentheses, okay? These two numbers will be your arch numbers when you do the full method. If I were to do the full method, I would get plus 3 and plus 7, whatnot. Okay? So the top number of your fractions will be your arch numbers when you full, and the A's will be what goes first, okay? Big time important there. Let's go to number 5. Okay, we could just take a 2 out, right? So I'm going to divide everything by 2. I'll get 2 parentheses, b squared plus 5b plus 6. I need the factors of 6 that add up to 5. 1 and 6 subtract to give me 5. They don't add. So I'm going to put 6 and I'm going to put 2 times 3, right? I need the 2 and the 3 to add up to 5. So I'm going to put 2 and 3 to the right. The middle sign's plus. It goes to the biggest number. I need to add, and then my letters B. Okay? So my factors will be B plus 2 and B plus 3. So drop the 2, B plus 2, and B plus 3. Ho, 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 ho. Keep going on. Number 6. we're going to divide everything by 5, okay? So divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. Let's factor out the 5. 5 parentheses x squared minus 3x minus 140 divided by 5. If you can't do that in your brain, use a calculator. Mr. Toops has got like more power. It's 28. So I got this done. The factors of 28 that subtract and get 3. 1 times 28 doesn't work. 2 times 14, 3 won't go into 28. 4 times 7 is it, isn't it? The more you do this, the quicker you're going to get to that factor. Okay? Now then, let's write down 4 and 7. And remember, this middle sign goes to the biggest term. Now then, what do I do to negative 7 to get negative 3? I need to add 4, don't I? If I put a minus 4 there, I'm going to get negative 11, don't I? Now then, our letter is x, so put x on the bottom, and those are our parentheses. Drop the 5, x plus 4, and x minus 7. Ho, 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 ho. Wow, this is so much fun. If we only had that taste meter. Oh, 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 oh. This would taste like the most delicious thing you could get. Oh, they had this white cream sauce with shrimp at Lupe Tortilla that when they put that on a fish, oh, this is just the same test you get. Now then, I'm only going to do a few of your homework problems. Hopefully you got this down. Something that was not covered. Let's go to number 10. Okay, there's letters on both of them. No trouble though. But we need the factors of 45 that subtract and get 4. I'm going to do the calculator one more time. So get your calculator. You got to hit Control-T to get rid of the table. Then we're going to hit delete, delete, delete 3 times. Delete, delete, delete 3 times. That's going to get rid of this. Then we have to it's 54 or 45. So 45. So 45. Oh, I need to hit tab first. So tab gets me my equation up. Then 45 divided by x. Hit enter. Now then I need Control-T to get my table. Now then I got my table, don't I? Now then let's look what we need. We need to subtract and get 4. So let's look at our table. 5 and 9 work, don't they? So 5 times 9 is my 45. If I subtract them, I get 4, don't I? So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to put 45 and write down 5 times 9. Always write this down. Always, always, always write that down. Now then, I'm going to put 5 and 9 over here. The middle sign is minus. What do I do to negative 9 to get negative 4? If I put minus 5, I'm going to get negative 14. When you subtract, the signs will be different. So I need a plus 5. Now then, this is important here. We need an A and a B. Okay, so just put fraction bars A on here. Now then, also notice that this 45 is 45b squared. We're going to put B and B up here. Because 5b times negative 9b is going to be my 45b squared. Notice that the A and the B will be in the parentheses. Okay, this is kind of tricky. There's only one other problem like this. You won't do this like when we graph. We will not have 2 letters in here. Okay, so draw your parentheses, and A plus 5b is in one of them, and A minus 9b is in the other one. And then I'll do one more for you. Is there one more with 2 letters? No, there's not. Let's do one with subtracting. It's a little bit harder. Let's do number 2. Okay, so they divide by 2. So I'm going to divide everything by 2. The subtractor ones are a little bit harder, okay? So we're going to pull out a 2. This is a long lesson, I know. Okay? Thank you for staying here with me. We're going to get through this, okay? Hopefully this is pretty simple the way I'm teaching it, okay? Now then, we need our factors of 12 that subtract and give us 4, right? So write down 12. 1 times 12 doesn't work. 2 and 6 works, right? So we need the 2 and the 6 to give us 4, don't we? Over to the right, put 2 and 6. The middle sign goes to the big number. Put plus. Our letter is x. And we have our parentheses right here, don't we? Drop the 2. this will be x plus 2 and x minus 6. If we multiplied all this, we would go straight back up here, okay? If we multiplied it all, those are the factors. These are the factors of that quadratic, okay? This will get a little bit more complicated tomorrow when we get the number in front of that x squared term, and it will not factor out, okay? This has been a really long lesson. Thank you for staying here with me today. Remember, you are amazing, you were created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.